learn the latest news surrounding Rafael Leao as we are planning on making a record bid to sign the star winger in January. To move on, we turn our attentions to Benfica as Todd Boehly is hoping to use his relationship with Jorge Mendes to sign talented client in Diego Moreira. And to end with things, let's discuss Armando Broja, who has been ruled out this season, as well as other club updates surrounding behind closed door friendlies. So we have a ton of things to break down and discuss today. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys get involved in the comments and share your thoughts and opinions behind the stories too. Before we get into anything, I need to get one big plug out of the way first. Right now, there is a new episode of the Last Man Standing series on Betflix's YouTube channel, so I'm going to play you guys a very brief clip.
Look, I think Thomas Tuchel as a coach is a great coach, and I think he would have done a lot better to be Gareth Southgate. The style of football thing is interesting, because would it be a style of football that gets the best out of the attacking players?
For me, this episode was exciting and created a lot of conversation. Southgate most likely will be stepping down as the England manager, and already we are turning our attentions towards the successor. I guess for me, one name I'm going to put forward would be Thomas Tuchel. I feel like his management style really just excels at knockout round football. He knows how to win those battles and one-off encounters, and for me, this is what international football is all about. Like, you can have the best system, the best tactics, but ultimately, the players on the fields have to win you the game. On one hand though, I do feel like, is this too good to be true? Because Tuchel is a young guy, you know. Would he want to quit club level football now to take over a national team where you're not like fully busy all the time? I'm not too sure, but let's see. Crazy things have happened. But regards to you guys, share your thoughts and opinions. Get involved in the conversation. You'll find a link below in the description and in the top card above, so make sure you check out the full episodes. So right now, let's kick things off and let's discuss club news first. Let's get that out of the way. Next Tuesday on the 20th of December, we will play Brentford in a behind closed door friendly to get ready for the restart of the Premier League season. Makes a lot of sense. I thought in the recent defeat to Aston Villa, it was a good performance considering that most of the team were PL2 talents, and the fact that they were taking the game to Aston Villa and it was quite even tells you a lot about the quality that these young guys possess at a very young age. I'd imagine though for the game versus Brentford, we won't see as much youth talent playing because a lot of the senior players are still away after representing the national teams, as well as, of course, just taking further training sessions behind the scenes. But I'm hoping that we see a few star names like Hutchinson. Give this guy some minutes, Graham Potter. I think this guy is ready and he is the type of profile we need on that right hand side. I'm looking at guys like Dion Rankin, who really impressed me in that game too. And I'm looking at players like Kasade and Webster, so let's hope that they can get some minutes at least versus Brentford. But still, it'll be an opportunity for the rest of the senior guys like your Pulisic and Code to return back and get some minutes now to get ready for the kickstart of the Prem season, because the season comes back, you guys. We need to start the season off by getting a W, by getting a win. 4 defeats in 5 games. We can't, nah. That record has to go, you guys. We can't end the new year on an L. So that is one of the first bits of team news to get out of the way. Let's now discuss Armando Broja. Now, we have some pretty disappointing and sad news involving Broja, who is going to be out for the season. He's picked up a crucial ligament injury. It was a pretty nasty one. We saw his reaction after he sustained the injury too on the field. He looked in quite a bit of distress, and it's a bit of a shame because Broja was starting to just, earn and gain the faith and trust of Graham Potter, and knowing the fact that this was an incredible opportunity for this season to, fight Aubameyang for that first team spot, it felt like he was starting to slowly get there. So this is a very unfortunate setback, and of course sadly as well too, because we have aspirations for this season. It doesn't help the squad because now we are short up front, and I can't rely upon Aubameyang for the rest of the season. I just can't do that. So it does seem like we will be forced to go into the January window to sign a striker reinforcement. Talks that João Felix could be possibly available on loan. That'd be interesting. Of course, I'll be talking about other targets in this video that we are looking to get in January too. But sadly, Broja's season is over. He will be out for up to at least 5 months. I don't necessarily feel like this injury will just kill his career. I'll give you an example. I've always felt like maybe Broja has a lot of stylistic similarities to a Diego Costa, but maybe he's a bit better 1v1 and a bit faster. And when Diego Costa was around a similar age, I think he picked up a crucial ligament injury as well too. So I do feel like with the science as well as youth being on his side, he should get through this, and hopefully he can just recover really well and come back as soon as possible. So good luck to Broja. Right now, let's discuss one of the massive stories today, and let's talk all the latest updates on Rafael Leao. Now, this is an update that a lot of us have been waiting for because we're curious about the situation currently surrounding Rafael Leao. The updates do sound promising, they're very interesting, and essentially we are prepared, we are ready to make a mega money offer move to persuade Leao to sign for us this January. And it makes quite a lot of sense. At this point in time, AC Milan are desperate to try to get Leao to renew his contracts. They've put out a lot of positive words to the media suggesting that Leao wants to stay at Milan, things are going well, but naturally during very tense times like this, you want to give off that air of vibe that yes, things are under control and you don't want the fans to panic at this point in time. Still though, the reality does suggest that the year is about to end and Leao hasn't agreed to signing a new deal. So this means that there is an opportunity here to potentially get something over the line. Now, Italian reports state that Milan are open to making Leao one of the highest paid players in the history to get him to stay and sign a new deal. Still though, some reports in the UK have suggested that Todd Boehly has already met up with Mendes in Qatar to talk about the availability of Rafael Leao. Now, one of the major stumbling blocks that Milan have in regards to getting this renewal over the line is that Leao owes a sizable amount of money to Sporting Lisbon. He owes around 16.5 million. That literally comes out his wages every single month, kind of like how a student loan would work. Originally, Milan's plan was to negotiate with Sporting Lisbon to possibly get the money owed vetoed and find another way of repaying them, which hasn't really gone anywhere at this point in time. And we do know that Leao has rejected the first contract proposal from AC Milan, and there's only a finite amount of money that Milan can actually offer to Rafael Leao. So this is where we come into question. It's been reported that we are more than happy to pay over 100 million to secure Leao during the January window, and we have promised Leao that we will pay off his existing debts to Sporting Lisbon. Considering the talent we have, the potential, the league he can play in, I think we become a very attractive proposition, and realistically, this could be one of the final opportunities for AC Milan to earn the maximum amount of money to get the maximum transfer value in a Leao sale. And that's because his contract does expire in the summer of 2024. So 1 year left, Milan would not be able to command offers of over 100 million to sell the player. Milan need the money. This could be an amazing opportunity to secure maximum value and reinvest those funds back into their team. To give my thoughts and opinions, I don't want to get you guys too gassed or too excited. I think there's some promise behind these reports. We know that Boehly and Mendes have an amazing relationship, and that will be exercised quite soon. And for me, the most positive piece of news is the fact that Leao has rejected the first contract proposal from AC Milan. I think there's only so much space Milan can work with, and I think in terms of finances and sporting ambition, there is something here that we can do. Of course, there's been many reports that, Leao is following Chelsea social media accounts, players, etc, etc. That's always a promising sign of things. And you'd imagine that Mendes would be more than happy for his client to leave Milan to sign for us. So you'd imagine that we have Mendes in our corner as well too. Listen, crazy things have happened. Would I be surprised if we made a 100 million bid for Leao in January? Probably not, but let's watch this space. I don't want to get you guys too excited, but things are looking a bit promising at this point in time. So right now, let's end things with another bang of a story, and let's discuss Benfica Wonderkids in Diego Moreira. Now, one thing that we're seeing a lot more of in these reports is that we are being linked with a lot of wingers. I've been saying in my videos for a while, we have to decide how we want to play. Are we going to attack and create with wingers, or are we going to go to using more attacking midfield players that have that 1v1 threat? It does seem like we are maybe pushing more towards using wingers. And with this story in particular, this is a very exciting and interesting story. It involves super talent Diego Moreira, 18 years old, plays on either flank for Benfica and is seen as one of the biggest and best prospects currently in Portuguese football. Reports in this country have stated that we are hoping to use Mendes' influence to be able to get a deal over the line to sign the talented winger. And I guess straight away, this kind of tells me maybe I'm thinking way too far into things, but realistically, if we can't sign like the top talents we want right now, so your Leaos, etc., etc., maybe it makes sense to sign the future talents of tomorrow for a bargain fee. Knowing the fact that Todd Boehly wants these guys to be at a club where they can grow, improve and have that environment, that's why Graham Potter was hired as well too, because he is able to improve young players, as we've seen multiple times during his time at Brighton. So these type of links and reports to like teen talents like this, listen, of course these guys have top potential, but I do think that it's not here for a reason. It's not made up. And for me, I think Diego Moreira is a very interesting style of player. Now, he has been likened to like a Nani or a Leroy Sané, and for me, I think I'm more inclined to see more like Sané comparisons in his game. I think that's because when you actually break his game down, this guy has stupid top speeds. I mean, he's got that acceleration in short distances that is really key to create that separation away from your opponent. But at the same time, he can put the burners on and just do a man for pace on the outside. I think that's a handy skill to have. On top of that, he's got a lot of agility, mobility. He can like quickly shift his body position and angles on a turn just like that, which makes it even harder for defenders to stay with him. And he is a player that is left-footed, but is very confident using his right foot to take shots as well too. I mean, I could really go on about this guy in terms of his defending as well too. He does not lack defensively. I think that's one of the things that the modern day young player needs to have now. You have to be top defensively off the ball. You need that desire to press, to close down, to track back. That's what makes a manager trust you, and that's how a manager would prefer to use you over even someone that could be better but doesn't put in that work. Still though, going back to those little Leroy Sané comparisons, I think that's because he has the close control on short distances, which is very good, and he can also dribble at speed of long distances too. I mean, already for Benfica, he has made appearances in the first team in the Champions League and in the league already. At this point in time, his contract does expire in 2024, and naturally Benfica want to maintain and keep him because they're one of those clubs that end up selling top talents for stupid fees. So if we could do something now to just, beat Benfica to the race, I do think that Moura has the qualities to quickly adapt to the Premier League. I think he has that type of talent, and I think he's a very promising and exciting player, and this is one of the best Portuguese talents around at this point in time. So I'd imagine I'll be speaking about him in later videos too. So you guys on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.